Well, welcome back to another edition of 42nd Street Pete's Grindhouse Summer of Sleaze edition. Before I start today's movie, a little information that isn't too good. I just read a post from Annette Hines on Facebook that basically said she's terminal. She went into the hospital and had several undiagnosed masses, I guess that there were, and basically she just posted on Facebook today that she's terminal. I don't know what you believe in out there or whatever. I guess prayers, whatever, if they help, but just keep her in your thoughts, because I've known her, not in person, but as a Facebook friend for a good number of years, and I've been friends with Long Jean Silver, Deborah Evans, a bunch of these people, and it just sucks that this happened to her. She's really a good person. She's always supportive and stuff, and I don't know what else to say here. But anyway, I have notes and things I write down. Let's go back to 1975 for a film called Race with the Devil. And there's a backstory with Race with the Devil. It was written by Lee Frost and produced by Wes Bishop, and Lee Frost was going to be the director. Unfortunately for Lee, he was in with the Good Old Boy Network, because the two main stars, Peter Fonda and Warren Oates, had worked together twice before in The Hired Hand and 92 in the Shade. And Peter Fonda is interviewed on this, and he said something about, well, the director wasn't up to par, so he had him replaced. The story was, and I heard this from Dave Friedman, it's on the commentary on The Defilers, that Lee directed some of this. And when he was asked for the outtakes, I believe it was, he said he didn't have any. And they said, you shot the whole day of usable footage? And he said, yeah. Well, that makes sense to me, because these guys at one point were shooting on short ends, so they had to basically use everything they shot. So Peter Fonda sort of pontificated about that he and Warren had a piece of this film, and this film was now their baby. So in it being their baby, they wanted Lee out. And I can only figure that they looked at some of Lee's earlier work, like The Scavengers, Hot Spur, Love Camp Number 7, and figured, all right, this guy's an outlaw and we can't have an outlaw direct the film. So what they did was they put in veteran director and character actor Jack Starrett. Jack, if you remember, was the mean cop in Rambo, and was Gabby Johnson in Blazing Saddles, and in this film has a cameo as a gas station attendant. So also this film was released at PG. I'm sure that if Lee had worked on the film, it probably would have gotten an R. But, 20th Century Fox, whatever, it wasn't going to happen. So the premise is that these two couples, Peter Fonda and Laura Parker, and Warren Oates and Loretta Swit, were going in this big, mobile home and going camping for a couple weeks. Well, they park someplace, and, they're sitting there drinking, and all of a sudden Peter Fonda and Warren Oates see a fire in the distance. And they're half shit-faced, and they sneak up to see a satanic ritual where a woman is sacrificed. Well, now they got to blow it out of there, and in blowing out of there, they just take off, leave all their shit there, that Satanists are pursuing them through a river. They get stuck. They finally get into a town, and they go to the sheriff, played by R.G. Armstrong, veteran character actor who was basically in a bunch of Peckinpah stuff, most notably Major Dundee, Ride the High Country, and Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid. So he's the sheriff there, but he's also one of the Satanists, because the whole town is full of Satanists. So they drive back out there, they don't see too much, and then they decide to get the hell out of there. Well, they go to a trailer camp and spend the night. They're watching some band when they go back to the trailer and find out that their little dog has been killed and nailed to the door. And they're screaming at these nameless, faceless people just standing around, and they blow out of there. Well, they should have checked the cabinets, because also the Satanists put a couple of rattlesnakes in there. So there's a brief rattlesnake battle inside the mobile home. The thing is, they want to get to Amarillo and report what was going on. So they're detoured around, they stop for gas, and all of a sudden they're in this little convoy of a couple pickup trucks, a delivery truck that are trying to run them off the road. So Warren Oates they'd stopped one place, and Warren Oates had bought a shotgun. So a couple of these Satanists get blown away. There's some really good car action here, a lot of chase scenes. The mobile home gets beat to shit. And they get out of that. So now they're almost out of the place, and they're into a detour. And the detour takes them back at nightfall to exactly where they started with, and the fire starts again, and you see a fire grow and surround the mobile home, and then the credits roll. Typical 70s downbeat ending. There was a lot of them back there. Is the film any good? Well, yeah, it's okay. It's you know, basically a chase film, a mini horror film, whatever. But I don't think it really lives up to its expectations because of, you know, replacing Lee Frost as a director. But like I said, it was the good old boy network back then. Also, Paul Partain, Franklin from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, makes a brief appearance in the film too. So, it's like I said, it's not a bad film. Check it out. I believe it's running on Tubi. It just came out on a Blu-ray double feature, a Peter Fonda double feature with, I guess it's Crazy Mary and Dirty Larry or something like that. But just listening to Peter Fonda talk, he comes across as a self-centered, arrogant little prick, and this is my film. Well, no, you didn't write it. You just bought into it. So that's our show for today. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for tuning in, and we will catch you on the flip side. And please keep Annette Hines in your thoughts.